This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 6/21/22, show number 401. Well, Nick, market's recovering a bit?
Yeah, you got a nice rally today. Markets had a really rough week going back into Friday. So last week was just brutal, but they are recovering pretty nicely today. Got a pretty good bounce. Looks like the rally is broad-based as well. And just to point out, today is the summer solstice, which is obviously the first day of the summer. Often the season changes will not only be a change for the weather, but also a change for the market trends sometimes. Now, while the primary trend is still down, I think a counter-trend bounce is certainly possible and looks to be underway today. Obviously, we'll have to see where we close the session out. It's not how they open, it's how they close. But it's a good rally so far today, and we'll give the market the benefit of the doubt for now.
All right. So in other news, Kellogg's is splitting into 3 companies. Is that so is that an inflation play here?
I don't know if it's an inflation play, but I will say it's been one of the stronger names in the market, and that's why I think it's notable. So, again, when you get a big company like this in the food business, they're going to break into 3 companies. It helps change sentiment out there. Maybe other companies will start to do that as well. Kellogg's is a food giant, and very often when a stock like this will announce something along this line where they're going to break up into 3 separate companies, create shareholder value, that helps market sentiment out there. And other companies, maybe a General Mills will be next, or a Conagra, or somebody else like that. So a lot of people look at that as a positive sign for the markets when something takes place like this.
Hey, talk about positive signs and a rally. Look what Tesla's done today.
Yeah, Tesla is having a banner day today, up over 11%. The stock is really coming off of the lows, too. Just remember, on Friday, Tesla was trading around $639 at the low. It's now at $723. With an 11%, 73-point move today. It's an incredible move today for Tesla.
Yeah. So is Tesla the bellwether stock?
I don't think Tesla is the bellwether stock. I definitely think that it does carry a lot of weight. It is, close to $1 trillion or around $1 trillion company. Any of those stocks out there in tech land, whether it's Apple, Google, Tesla now, Amazon, Microsoft, they really do sway sentiment quite a bit. So I think everybody needs to keep an eye on Tesla all the time because it carries a lot of weight now. It's not a middleweight, it's a heavyweight.
Yeah, it's like an Amazon or a Alphabet or an Apple, right?
It really is. Even though maybe it's only worth $1 trillion, Apple's worth $2 trillion. A stock like Tesla has so many people involved, so many people are now following Elon Musk, and they're watching the stock's every move. So, in my opinion, it's just as important as every one of those names mentioned in the NASDAQ 100.
All right. So what about Twitter, his acquisition? The board just voted today to accept it, but he hasn't pulled the offer yet. It's trading up a little. It's right around $38 and change. What's your take on it?
Well, I mean, that's their job, right? To try to get that share price that he originally mentioned, which was $54. I don't see on God's earth he's going to pay $54. So, like I said, I think what he really should pay is around 32.5. I think that's what the chart tells me. I don't know if he'll pay in the low 40s or, perhaps he'll pay 45 or so, 47. Maybe he'll go down a little bit if he really does want this company. But I'm not seeing him pay $54 now.
$44.20. That's the magic number, Nick.
Yeah, I know you've been saying that, and that's realistic. That could happen. So, if he does pay that amount, believe it or not, that would be right around the pivot going back to May 12th, and also the pivot going back to April 18th. So I wouldn't rule that out. I think that's a possibility. I still think he's overpaying personally, but I would not rule that out. I think that certainly is a fair possibility. That he'll pay a lesser price than 54, and what $10 less is not a bad level.
Yeah, not bad at all. Hey, so what about Bitcoin here? It's up today, huh?
Well, Bitcoin really had a wild weekend. So I don't normally track cryptos on Saturday and Sunday, but I do know that from what I read, Bitcoin traded down to 17,000. I follow the Bitcoin futures chart, and it's up 5% today, up 1,000 points, trading right now at 21,500. So great pop today for Bitcoin. Looks like there was some news that one company came in and bailed somebody out. And the market likes that news, at least for the moment, and Bitcoin is living to fight another day. But as I've said before, I really am in the camp that Bitcoin's got to go test that 14,000 level before it finds any kind of solid bottom.
And we need to draw that line across the chart at 19,700, right? Because it's
yes.
gone up and down over that thing like 3 or 4 times already. Now it's going over. Really, that's the line in the sand, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it right now. That's the Rubicon, so to speak, because that's where crypto topped out in December of 2018. So if you take a look at a Bitcoin chart or a Bitcoin futures chart, that really is a very, very pivotal level. And I think if you get, any kind of a weekly or even a monthly close below that, we'll go test 14,000 rather quickly. So Bitcoin today, holding up well, like a lot of other things in the market, getting a bid. But like I said before, I still think it needs to go test that 14,000 level.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to find out soon enough, right? And let's see. Of course, gold is down a little bit, somewhat flat.
Yeah, basically flat today. Gold is down 0.2%, actually 0.1%. So we're not going to make too much out of it. The one thing I would say about gold is that it's really been very, very choppy lately. Today, gold is surprisingly a little bit weaker, even though the dollar is down today. I thought, and sometimes when the dollar is down, gold will take its cue and move higher. But it's been a very, very choppy and sloppy trade recently, even though it did hold it has not went down and retested the lows at 1785. Those lows were made on March 16th. So that's a little bit of a positive for gold. But it's been up and down. It's almost like you have to take Dramamine to watch that market right now.
Yeah, agreed, or something stronger than that even. All right, well, that's it for today. We will talk again, I guess, tomorrow. This week is screwed up because yesterday was a holiday, believe it or not. And make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com. See how Nick has beaten the averages for decades. The Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, and at Kerry Lutz. Your emails are welcome, kl@kerrylutz.com. We'll get to them soon in the next few days. We've been storing up a bunch. All right, Nick, tomorrow then.
Sounds good, Kerry.